Tom Clark's main event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is Tom Clark's main event. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Am I too shiny? How's that? Better? I got a face made for radio, Jack. Believe that. What's up, kids? Happy Friday to you, one and all. This is episode number 289 of the aforementioned Tom Clark's main event. Welcome. You guys are the best. Thanks for tuning in as always. Apologies for not being here last week. I was up against a wall hardcore with scheduling, yes, but it's all good. We're back here this week. We have a very, very short 11 weeks to go until, you guessed it, episode 300, Jack. That's right. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be big. How big? Crazy big. While you're here, smash the like button. Smash it so hard you nearly break your phone. Don't break it. Elsewise, you won't be able to watch the show. You have to go to another device. Hit the button is what I'm trying to tell you. Hit it till you love it. Love it. Don't like it. Love it. And then share the feed everywhere you can. Share it to all your friends and family on the Facebook. Share it to all your enemies and the ne'er-do-wells on Facebook as well. How often do they do well? Ne'er. That's how often. Share it to them. You want to know why? First of all, life's too short. The world's gone nuts. We need some more peace and love in the world. We provide that here on the main event, don't you know? We bring people together. Unity. That's what we do, baby. Tom Clark's main event, episode number 289. The aforementioned Tom Clark, live in the living color, as always. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Let's get some hey happening on the screen here. Be patient. Wait. Uh-oh, there it is. Guess what's getting ready to happen on the bottom of this? We're about to go to the Christmas theme at some point. You better know my tree's up. Bring it. Bring the heat. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me all the nonsense. I don't care. November 1st, my tree went up, as it does every year. Suck it, Grinches. That's how I roll. That's how we roll in the House of Clark, baby. We make merry all the live long day. Let's see who got here first. Carlos Martinez. I have a pack of Fruit Smile generic. I don't know where these came from. Evidently, the Great Pumpkin left them behind for me. I did hang out in the most sincere pumpkin patch at Halloween. Just saying. As a result of that, the Great Pumpkin visited my house. He didn't visit yours? He didn't bring you some candy? I see how it goes. Carlos Martinez got his name up a whole long time on the screen. What's up, my friend Renato Rodriguez? Just when you think it's over, it's never over. What's up, dude? Thanks for hanging out. Chris with a K, what's going on? Ray all day, what's up, baby? Sandy in Germany, it's 4 a.m. where you are. I love you for being here. Everyone stop what you're doing and say hello to Sandy. More importantly, say Guten Tag, because again, it's 4 a.m. over there. I don't know what time it is. Look at this monstrosity. Look at this behemoth that I like to call a beard. This thing has overtaken my face. It has its own zip code. I should charge it rent. It gets up in the middle of the night and makes itself a snack. I got a million of these jokes. This thing is out of control. It is Sasquatch. It's been seen in the woods and hunters are coming after it. I got to get it trimmed down. That's no joke. Eric Jackson, what's going on? Good to see you, Jamel and Vejas. What's up, dude? Listening while at work. Jamel, this is why you continue to be the best. Hey, Sandy. Yeah. Robbie trying to do the MJF thing, but it's all good. Nancy, you know how much you're one of my favorites on this show. Everyone tell Nancy hi in South Georgia. I'm in North Carolina. We're not that far from each other, Nancy. You ever get down this way to go see a wrestling show, holler at your boy. It's all good. And if I ever get up that way, I have passed. Have I been to Georgia? I've been to Savannah. What am I, an idiot? Of course I've been to Georgia. It's Friday, baby. It's been a long week. Understand. I've been on the keyboard for like 7 straight days. Oh, baby. Let me just tell you. Yeah. I got blisters on my fingers. That's no joke. I'm just saying. Nancy, you're the best of all time. Thank you. Sugar Shane in the house. You're my boy, Shane. What's going on? Ron Emerson Jr. I got to come up with a name for you, man. Art Reg. I'll call you Reg. It's R-E-J. You're Reg. Live with it. I have spoken. I have spoken. Nancy, you're awesome. Sandy says he's my favorite German. I mean, of course you are. Of course you are, Sandy. Sandy, do you like the David Hasselhoff? Is that a weird question to ask a German? I don't think that it is. The German people seem to love them some David Hasselhoff. Is that still the case? Ron, I don't care if you don't like it. Now I always call you that. You had an opportunity to get the name changed, but you said yuck, which means I had to call you that now. I'm just kidding. David down under. My family's doing great, David. My beard, however, is not. It's going all over the place. You see what I'm rocking today, kids? Black Panther. I can't wait to see this film. One of my favorite Marvel films. Whenever someone asks what's your favorite Marvel film, I usually say Black Panther. I love that film so much. I can't talk about it too much. I'll cry. I love that movie so much. Can't wait to see it. Don't anybody spoil it. If you spoil it, you get kicked out. And I'm not having it. All right. Sandy says I look 20 with that beard. Ray, he's beating you to it, dude. Oh, thank you, Ray. Yes, absolutely. My boy has made the basketball team. I'm insanely proud of him. You guys have no freaking idea how insanely proud I am. My son, he tried out last year, and because of middle school politics, he didn't make it. And no, that's the truth. No kidding. Kid hustled his butt off last year, didn't make it. He hustled his butt off this year, didn't make it. Yes, I'm extremely proud of him. First game is November 29th, a week after Turkey Day. And don't you know, I still have stuff loaded up for holidays from last year. So there you go. Thank you, Ron. I'm sure there's another saying. Yeah, anyone that ruins it for me, I'll kick you out and never speak to you again. Just so you know. Happy Friday to you, Will. All right, guys. So the title of this particular episode, and yes, I've titled it, is The Power of Pro Wrestling. I'm not going to put that banner up just yet because I wanted to kind of personalize today's episode where I could. We're going to get into some personal stuff here a little bit later. But in the meantime, why don't we just go ahead and hit some of the latest headlines? You know how we roll here. Sometimes all right. So in the past, we've had a very specific agenda, a very specific, I'll get it, a very specific itinerary. Yes. But here lately for the past few months or so, it's basically a vague like headlines, ask Tom anything, current news and notes, that kind of thing. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to brush up against the latest headlines, get your view on it. And then we'll of course, we're going to get to the power of pro wrestling. Then we'll open the floor up for anyone that wants to ask you boy questions. I'm all for it. Here's a headline that I bumped into, and I want to start off with this. Nick Aldis is done with the National Wrestling Alliance. And I don't know if anybody saw this video that he uploaded to his Instagram. I did not catch it in time before he deleted it. But part of the word going around about this video is that he called the NWA product embarrassing, quote, end quote, and said he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. Aldis has since clarified his comments to one Sam Roberts, saying, quote, "It certainly wasn't intended to be this burial of the NWA, or anything like that." Aldis said, "Why would I do that? I would be burying myself," end quote. He later discussed the NWA product staying away from what he originally envisioned to be, quote, "What it's become now is not what I envisioned it to be, and certainly isn't what I was laying the ground for for it to be. Didn't have the core values that I had tried to sort of maintain. And again, it wasn't a knock. It was just me saying this isn't for me anymore. I wanted to do an alternative wrestling brand that represented all the things about the NWA that people miss in the current product, whether it be from overproduction or from a different mentality or a different style. Let's give them all those things. I was presented with the question, what's different now? Why is it not working now compared to what? And I sort of went again, you're forcing me to give you an answer that paints me in this awful light, but I'm going, the difference is you had a world title angle that people were interested in, and now you do not. Yeah, he went on to say the world title picture improved when Matt Cardona was added to the mix, but after Cardona was injured, things fell apart again. He said that he was then accused of lobbying for himself to get the belt back. Yeah, so, and also he also had a comment here about Harley Race, which you guys know that Aldous is a huge Harley Race fan, a guy, and so am I. You're crazy if you don't love the race. Aldous says, look, quote, look, I can't get around it. I'm not saying all of it, but there was enough of it that for me didn't pass the Harley Race test. And I know people will hear that and be like, Harley, what the H? But you have to understand Harley Race wanted nothing to do with NWA because of what had been prior, because it had some pretty dark days. Then he agreed to not only be back associated with it, asked me to come to Missouri to defend the title, appear on camera, talking to me about being NWA champion, and that ended up being the last interview he ever gave on camera before he passed. That means a lot to me, and it was because of how we had presented pro wrestling consistently for 3 years at that point or whatever. It was we had consistently presented pros in a serious and dignified way, end quote. So now he is evidently moving on. And so I want to pose the question back to the audience, to all you peeps out there. What is happening with Nick Aldis? Do you think, where do you think he's headed at some point? I want to know what you guys think. Harry, what's up, my friend? Thank you for hanging out, dude. Good to see you. Harry with the Straight Up Pro Wrestling Podcast. There you go. Sandy, you're the man, dude. Don't apologize to me. It's all good, man. You get here when you can. We'll leave the light on for you. Charlotte, you're awesome. Charlotte, I'm doing well, my dear. I hope you are. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out as always. You're the best. Thanks for coming back. My family's doing great. I hope yours is as well. Where'd you go, Ron? Ron's an old school guy like I am. The movie ends. Oh, wait, no, wait, sorry. You had another comment. Where'd it go? There it is. Sorry, my bad. It's a weird scenario. Billy's interview on Busted Open was good. I have not caught that yet. Nancy says, I know he's interested in WWE, but he may not be as big as he thinks he is. I've watched his career since the beginning, but some of this is from out of nowhere. I love Nick Aldis. Nancy, don't sleep on him. He's so good. He is, can I be honest with you? Aldis is better than a lot of WWE's locker room right now. Anybody can come at me if they want to. I don't really care. I'm just telling you the truth. There's opinion and there's facts. And the fact is that Nick Aldis is an amazing wrestler. He's so good at what he does. But yeah, I would advise everyone watching and everyone after the fact watching, don't sleep on Nick Aldis. He's so good. I'd love to see him in AEW. I think there's unfinished business with him and Cody. Whether or not we see that in WWE, I don't know. Nick has made friends. I don't know of a lot of people who really don't like Nick, but that's just one guy's perspective. For all I know, everybody hates him. I've never read that or heard it from anyone, never been told that. I think he's made friends everywhere he's been. Charlotte says, well, is Mickey going back to WWE? That's my question. I would say it's Mickey's career and her life, whatever she wants to do that makes her happy, go with God, brother, if that's what you want. However, let's don't forget how they let her go and sent her things in a trash bag. Now, did Hunter do that? Nah. But Hunter also, everyone made sure to send Punk his walking papers via FedEx on his wedding day. And there's rumors of Punk going back to that company. So, I mean, you take that or leave it, man. You just take that or leave it. Ray says, I pray Nick doesn't go to WWE, and I don't know how he would fit in AEW, but definitely a better fit. I agree with that sentiment. Sandy says in Germany they eat goose. Is that a thing in Germany for November 11th? Are you serious? I don't think I've ever even had goose in my life. How is it, by the way? Victor, what's up, my friend? Do you think Nick Aldis will go to Impact with this? Can I be honest with you, Vic? I believe that Nick Aldis in Impact is a very big fish in a very small pond. I think Nick Aldis has worked himself to superstar level. That's what I believe. I think Nick Aldis has worked himself into marquee level, and that's where he belongs. So is Impact big enough for him? I suspect maybe not. Does that mean he won't go? I don't know. Maybe he will. I would think that'd be unfortunate because he's been there, done that. We'll see what happens, man. I'd love to see him in AEW, but I don't know. I don't know. I love when the ladies hang out. Does that make me sound like a dog? I'm sorry if it does. I don't mean any disrespect. One of the things I pride myself on with my show is that when we were hardcore 12 noon every Friday, as we were for like 2 straight years, we packed the room with the ladies, and it's always a good thing. It's always cool to me because to see female pro wrestling fans, it always made me feel good. They were watching my show. They could have been watching anybody else, but they were watching my show. It always made me feel good. So Nancy, again, thank you. Do I think Punk will return? I think that he's going to do what he wants to do. Should he go back to WWE? His call, not mine. And I'm not going to be one of those guys who, the minute he left WWE, a lot of fans turned on him and said, I'll never watch him in that other company. I'm not going to turn on him if he goes back to WWE. However, I will tell you from my chair where I'm sitting today, I have no desire to see him perform in the WWE ring again. But that's me. I don't wish ill will upon him. I do think the way he left AEW is, in my opinion, is embarrassing. Now, granted, I wasn't in the locker room. I can't tell you how it went down. I don't really know how it went down. Neither does anyone here. We're going off of what we're told or what we hear. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th person, right? Just to be fair, that's the truth. Okay. So, whatever makes him happy. Am I interested? Not really. Ron, you're 100% right. Tom Latimer is better than he gets credit for, too. That's why I love when there's different companies that can get a toehold. I love that there's more companies. I love that AEW's here. I love that New Japan is still going and still rolling and still going strong. I love that Impact is still hanging in there. I love that the NWA is still a thing. This is all true. I love that there's this many companies for these men and women to ply their craft in. I've never been the guy to advocate for any company to close, including WWE. Never. I don't want to see that happen to any company unless they just, don't know how to do pro wrestling and they're ruining it. And even then, talents are losing their jobs, and so are the men and women who help run the show behind the scenes. Jeff, what's up? The NWA title sure looked great on Nick Aldis. He brought that title to the top of the mountain. Oh my God, are you kidding? Yes. 100%. I will not, cannot, and shall not disagree. Excuse me. Oh, with that sentiment. Where are we? There we are. Another news headline involving AEW that has recently come down the pike, and very recently, is in like yesterday, give or take. Bandito's AEW contract. There's speculation. There's stuff going around. So Wrestling Observer reported that his full-time contract is only for 3 years, maximum amount of dates. Don't know the number of dates. And supposedly the thing that he didn't want to sign with WWE because he has a child in Mexico. His significant other doesn't want to move from Mexico, and he doesn't want to not see his child all the time. You know what? Good for him. WWE deal where it's assumed he'll begin in NXT would require him to be based in Florida with any main roster call-up. We'll get it. Likely keeping him away from home more often than he would like to be. If your first exposure to Bandito was in AEW, first of all, I'm glad you see him now. Okay. But however, man, have you missed some great freaking matches. Because Bandito and Ring of Honor was, holy Lord. All right. Some phenomenal matches in Ring of Honor, dude. For real. You need to go back and check them out if you have the opportunity. What's up, Double V, Victor Vasquez? Ray says you watched the Hardcore Wrestling Company where they hit each other with bats. Oh, it's talking about GCW. It's not for me. I don't wish them any ill will. Again, it's not for me to say if they should or shouldn't be in business. I'm just not a fan of hardcore wrestling. I never really have been. I think if you don't want to call it hardcore, if you want to call it no holds barred or something like that, I get it. And you do it sparingly, but I don't like this where it's 3 matches out of 5. I don't care for it. Alma, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for watching as always. 40 degrees where you are. Yikes. It's been chilly here this week and rainy every day. Jumpin' Jeff Sharma says, my opinion, he wasn't ready for world title. However, cashing in on open challenge and lose would even be better. Let him cash NXT and win. Just my opinion. Who are we talking about, Jeff? Did I miss the comment somewhere? My apologies if I did. Nancy, I agree. Bandito is truly awesome. He's so good. In fact, I was at the Ring of Honor in Concord, and it was at it was Glory by Honor, one of those, because they put Honor in the top of all their major monthly events. Yes, and I want to say that was the night he worked Flip Gordon, I think. And man, Bandito was going 100 miles an hour to the point where he almost slipped off the top rope and freaking killed himself. And I'm going to say this, and this is one of those things that makes me sound elitist or like above everybody. But anybody in this chat that knows how pro wrestling is formulated, how pro wrestling runs, how matches are put together, how workers work, I'm out loud watching that saying, "Oh God, slow down, slow down, slow down." And like, I don't know if that means anything to anybody around me, unless they're, they've been in the business at some point. But like, to me, I know what, to me, that means you're going too fast. Take a beat, breathe, get your footing, then do your move. But he was going way too fast, which is the problem. And I'm not picking on high flyers. I'm not that guy. Okay. But one of the problems that I have, that I see quite a bit in every company, if I'm being straight, is this need to go as fast as humanly possible. You know what happens when you go too fast? You make mistakes. That's the truth. So you got to be careful. Oh, Austin Theory. Thank you, Sandy. I love Austin Theory, man. He catches too much grief. Jamel says, to MJF win the title. I believe maybe he does. But here's what I think is going to happen. Here's what I think is going to happen. Are you ready? This whole firm thing is a setup. The firm's going to help him win. Them laying him out is going to be because he instructed them to. It's part of a devious plot to get Moxley, get the belt off of him. They can run that and it'll be fine, but it's kind of predictable, which I don't like predictable too much. And again, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I've never claimed to be. And I have, again, this is going to sound like it's going to sound, and I don't mean it to sound that way. Anybody that knows me personally knows I don't mean this to sound arrogant. Okay. I tend to see things how they're going to happen before they happen. And that's twofold. One, since I'm a toddler, I'm watching wrestling. That's the truth. Two, in and out of the business, again, experience up close, watching how things play out. And I'm not the only one, but I'm one of those people that's able to know what's going to happen before it happens and can call it. Now, I don't brag to say that, because the truth of the matter is it sucks. I don't really want to know what's going to come next. It sucks a lot. And even if I know, I'll try to put it out of my head just so I can enjoy the match, dude, because I'm being straight with you. I hate spoilers. You guys know that I don't like spoilers. I don't like to know what's going to happen. If it's a pre-recorded show, I don't want to know who won. I don't care. I just want to watch it play out. I stay away from spoilers and everything like that. You know what I mean? That's who I am. I like to just see things play out. Jim, how are you, dude? Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to watch. I'm doing great. How are you? Ron, you said it's a blessing and a curse. It is. Yeah, it's cool because you feel like you're in on the joke, on the gag, but it's it's God, it's so hard to explain. It's so hard to put into words. But like, it's not one of those things you say too much, because like if you say it too much, people go, "Oh, Tom the expert, huh? He knows everything." And I never mean to sound like that, because God knows I'm not an expert at this at all. I mean, I can give you my analysis and give you what I think, and encourage everyone, as I always do, to call this down the middle. Don't ever presume to know anything about anything, and keep your mind open to every company possible. Unless that company just comes out and they're they're all gouging each other's eyeballs out and tossing them to each other like ping pong. Ping pong. Jim, you're great. Thanks, dude. JB. Oh my God, you got to come back now. You got a freaking nickname. Yes. Nancy, I'm going to keep putting your face up the whole time. Know that. I think he has a ways to go on wrestling skills, though. He's tough, but I'm a little skeptical. I think the firm thing is definitely a work. Sure, BCC. So you think, in your opinion, MJF's ring skills, is that what you're saying? MJF? Teach his own. Teach his own. If that's how you feel, that's fine. I would say MJF is pretty solid in the ring. Do I think MJF is Nick Aldis? No, I don't. Does it mean I think that he's extremely below Nick? No, I don't believe that either. I got two screens, my man. Apologies here. Bam! Good move. I'm watching wrestling as we do this. But anyways, yeah. So that's where I'm at. But again, to each his own. To each his own. Sandy, I always stay away from spoilers because I watch my wrestling later because live it's like 2 a.m. I hear you. Sandy in Germany, you're the best, man. You're like my number one fan. You're the best. Everyone, please welcome to the chat. Brino, I'm so sorry I didn't see your message. Listen, I got messages on Instagram and Messenger. Please don't anyone think I'm ignoring you. Please don't believe that. It's an incredibly hectic time on the job right now, and I've been up to my neck in work. It's insane. I'm on the keyboard anywhere from 10 to 11 hours a day. Not complaining. It's the job. I'm all about it. But if I'm not answering messages, that's why. Everyone welcome Brino. Brino's the man. Brino is a professional wrestler in every sense of the word. Go follow Brino Royce, kids. You'll be glad you did. He's a class act in the ring and out of the ring. Nancy says he's good on the mic, but he's never put his skills fully out there. He doesn't need help. Let him go. Yeah. Well, I get that. And, surrounding himself all the time with heels is what a heel does. Yes. Ray, I love you, man. You're the best of all time. I'm still watching this show. I'm trying to get caught up. Can I be honest with you, kids? I'm trying to get caught up. Jump Jeff says I struggled at Crown Jewel because I was at work and had to watch it 7 hours later. Yeah, yeah, I get that. Jeff, thanks for hanging out, brother. Brenda, how are you? The ladies are in the house. Girl power. I love it. I'm doing great. How are you? Stay for the whole show. Don't you guys run the ladies off either, okay? God's sake. See, Alma's still here. Nancy's still here. Nancy says, who's the best heel in the world right now? Jay White. Jay White. It was MJF. It's now Jay White. I love Jay White. Ooh. Jay White makes me tingle, which sounds a certain kind of way. I don't really care how it sounds. Jay White is so good. Jay White is so good. He's incredibly good. Anyone here who knows Jay White knows he's incredibly good. He's the man. You guys are getting me sidetracked. I'm trying to get some headlines up in here. We've already gone 30 minutes in. You believe that crap? It's not crap. It's good stuff. CM Punk. Uh-oh. It's made the headlines. CM Punk done grew his hair out. He has returned to commentary for an MMA promotion. Former two-time AEW World Champion CM Punk made his first public appearance since September's All Out on Thursday, resuming his MMA color commentating duties for Cage Fury Fighting Championships. His current status at AEW is unknown, with the last development reported to be the two sides working toward a buyout of the remaining years on his deal. Punk, a former two-time UFC fighter, even made a quip about not getting into a fight. So there you go. With his comments, now infamous post-All Out press conference, Punk drew the ire of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. We know what happened next. There you go, kids. Let's see. Punk is assumed to not be returning, as Jericho and other top stars in AEW are not interested in working with him. But that is, of course, as reported. Is that true? We don't know. That's just what's been reported. Don't anybody get mad at me. I didn't report it. I'm telling you it was reported. I'm relaying the information. Know that. Again, as I said, I don't wish Punk any ill will. I've been a fan of, let's try again. I've been a fan of Punk for years. In my opinion, if the way things ended in AEW, the way they ended in AEW, it's extremely freaking embarrassing. And in my opinion, I mean, honestly, I'm embarrassed for him. You're a grown man. At some point, you got to know better. Now, again, that's the 10,000 foot perspective from a guy that was not in the locker room. And I want everybody to remember that before we decide to put a guy over an open fire on a spit and turn him till he turns brown and basin his juices. Before we do that, let's all understand none of us were there. Okay. That's the truth. That's the truth. And remember what happens when you take a company side over a pro wrestler. I don't care what company. Let's remember, Thomas said that for years. It's not always a good look. You're choosing to side with the guy that's got millions of dollars and not the pro wrestler who doesn't have probably millions of dollars or whatever he's got. You see what I'm saying? I'm not defending him. If everything played out the way we've been told, it's extremely embarrassing. He ought to be ashamed of himself. That's the truth. Ray says Punk should chill and stay with commentating. Can't imagine him going after WWE after all the BS. And Cola King. Of course he is. Sandy says Punk is straight edge like him. Same here, dude. You know I'm straight edge. Have been my whole life. So, all right. So the thing about Punk going to WWE, again, if he does it, he does it. It is what it is. The guy was fired via FedEx on his wedding day. It was calculated. It was planned. It was predetermined. It was set up more than a pro wrestling match, baby. It was more of a shoot than Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, the Montreal Screwjob, and that's the truth. You going to go back after that? Because after they did that to you, they ran you down on live television, teased you in front of your home crowd, made fun of you, and told your home crowd that you left them behind, that you ran out on them, that you screwed them, and all the other things, terrible things they said about you on live TV. Took shots at you in the media, the press. And they lost that lawsuit. You guys know that, right? WWE lost. Punk got all the money he was owed and then some. A lot more. And he should have. But that's the past. It is what it is. It is what it is. Carlos says Young Buck's probably coming back at Full Gear. That's the rumor. That's the rumor. In fact, since you done talked about it, let's talk about it. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are indeed teasing an appearance at AEW Full Gear. We shall see what happens. The Elite indicates they may appear at AEW Full Gear on November 19th. Wednesday's tease had images of Full Gear graphics shown as pictures from the Elite's past were shown in rapid succession. You guys saw this. You know what we're talking about here. Teases from the Bucks and Omega's return have been shown in recent weeks on me. So there you go. We'll see what happens. How do you guys feel about Omega and the Bucks being allowed back, but Punk not? Again, I don't want to open it back up again. But are you okay with that? Does everyone feel like, well, they didn't really do anything wrong and they've served their penance, as it were? They've served their penance. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You agree with this? You good with it? Everything good? Y'all are good? Y'all good? Tell me. JB says I had mixed feelings about it. Yeah, same. Ray says I may go to Jersey to see Full Gear. Want to come and get beyond? Oh, Ray, don't tease me with Jersey, man. I'd love to go to Jersey. I've never been to Jersey. Well, I mean, I probably we drove past Jersey when I was in New York City, I'm sure. But did I go to Jersey? I don't think so. No. Boy, wouldn't that be fun? I got to get back up there, man. We got to make that happen at some point. Nancy says, let's do a trios match with Dead Triangle. I love Dead Triangle. Dead Triangle makes me sleep better at night as a person, knowing that they're on the planet. I love them. They're so freaking good. They cut a promo in packs like this. Like the camera's here and he's just like that. Not looking at the camera. Shut up. Shut up. Sandy says, I don't watch AW only WWE. Sandy, you got to open your mind, baby. Open your mind. Get that perspective stretch. Stretch the life out of it. Stretch that perspective till you can shove a bullet train through it, baby. You got to, man. You got to you got to broaden your horizons and open your mind. Get some other wrestling in your brain, dude. Trust me, man. There's other fantastic, great pro wrestling out there that exists way outside of WWE, man. Yeah, you got to get yourself. You got to get. You don't have to, right? But I would suggest you go out there and get yourself motivated to watch some amazing pro wrestling outside of WWE. Hey, you know what? I enjoy ML Dub. I do. Good for you, man. Good for you. Ray says, I like the Bucks and Kenny. They should get the belts again. Can't have talent like them on the bench. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Chris says, I can't watch AW Dynamite because I work late now. Well, I don't know if you have Hulu, Chris, but it's on demand on the Hulu. That's how I watch TV. We gave up terrestrial television 2 years ago. You know why? Because as far as Charter is concerned, Charter and I have nothing to say to each other. Well, I do their internet, okay, at home, all right? But DirecTV and I have nothing to say to each other because they kept jacking my price up every 10 minutes. Is what it is. Ray says, why are they making Seth and Joe tweeners? Like you said, it didn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I love Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs catches too much crap. Is Hayter going to win the title? I don't think so. I think if the only reason they give it to her is to run an angle between her and Britt, or Britt will cost her the title, and then it'll finally cause the turn that we've all been believing is going to happen forever. That hasn't happened yet. By the way, why is Jay White still with Sanjay? You know what I mean? Sometimes some of the things to do in the AEW, man, I don't get it. Ray said, oh, my bad, Ray. I clicked back up too far. This is who I was trying. Oh, wait, nope, same comment. Guys, I'm losing my mind here. Adam says, I'm feeling oozy for the young, but did you guys see that Sami Zayn thing? Oh, dude, it was so good. It was so good. Are you kidding me? Yikes. Freaking awesome. Sammy's the best, dude. What do you guys think about Jeff Jarrett coming back to AEW? Let's talk about that. Or coming to it. Yeah. What do you guys? And plus he's now he's like coordinator of live events or something. I got a hot take. Want to hear it? Want to hear it? Hit go. First off, there's 21 of you watching. Have you all smashed the like button till you love it? Smash the love button. Please, please, and thank you. This is the love boat. We're all about peace and love. Plus, if I get enough people to smash it, we're going to bring out the Tom Carr's main event dancers. They're lining up. They're outside the door. They can't wait to come in here and entertain. The Tom Clark's main event dancers are waiting for their cue, and all they need is for you to make it happen. By the way, we're currently taking applications for the Tom Clark's main event dancers. Send your resumes to me along with your videos. I'm not kidding. Wouldn't that be awesome if we did that? Remember the Nitro Girls in WCW? The Tom Clark's main event dancers. All right. Gerald says, are they with the Funkadelics? Funk is on a roll, Gerald. That's all I can tell you. Where was I? Oh, yes, Jeff Jarrett. Oh, Larry. From your lips to the ears of God, my friend, Jeff Jarrett with the same honking promo he's been cutting for 15 years. Sorry, Santa. I didn't mean to ignore you there, dude. I love Bobby Roode, actually. Yeah, Jeff Jarrett, in my opinion, is probably, hopefully, a better executive than he is at this point in on-air talent. Now, you can call that shade, I guess, if you want to. No disrespect. And listen, at the time they put that championship on him in WCW, that ship had taken on so much water. There was no way it was ever going to stay afloat again. He was the captain of the Titanic at that time. And that's the truth. Ship taking on water. All right. So having said all that, do I hold Jarrett responsible? Not at all. I hold Russo responsible because he had a lot to do with it. So did Bischoff. The blame was there to go around to a lot of people. But, being the champion of the World WCW champion during that amount of time of that company is like being the most popular guy in prison, in my opinion. There you go. Isaac says yawn to JJ. Yawn. That's Christopher Walken from Batman Returns. Yes. Good stuff. JB says Mr. Clark, Stacey Keebler should be your dancer. Oh man. I don't know if she's got what it takes. I don't know. We got high standards for a Tom Clark's main event dancer. Stacey's gonna have to audition. I can't just throw her on out there. She's gonna have to audition, and I don't make any guarantees. I'm telling you. I'm just saying. Gerald says missing beer money. Such a good tag team. Better than America's Most Wanted, and I really enjoyed America's Most Wanted. Sugar Shane says I like Jarrett, but it makes me feel old because I saw him debut as a referee. Remember when Jarrett was like 93 pounds in Mid-South? Yeah. I kept thinking, this is a pro wrestler? We're talking Steve Simpson kind of thin, baby. Yikes. Took him a lot of years to put weight on his body to bulk up to some degree. And he's still not the biggest guy you ever seen. Know what I mean? Jeff says Tom is going to do a Tough Enough like show to recruit dancers. I love it. Yes, we're having tryouts. Thoughts on Bray Wyatt's promos. Sandy, Bray Wyatt is a genius, and we're all blessed to be sharing the earth with him. I love him. Cage was 100 pounds. Who are we talking about? Did I miss a joke? I missed a joke. Talking about. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Cage was 100 pounds. Oh, I say. Oh! Well, Nancy, if you're going to be technical about it, yes, Brian Cage at one point was 100 pounds. Well, we all were, unless you have never been 100 pounds. Does that make sense? If you've been there, you cross the threshold. At one day in your life, you were 100 pounds. Yeah, Brian, and now he's a freak of nature, that freaking Brian Cage. Holy Lord. Isaac, I hope that they do right by Bray Wyatt. I don't have a prediction for you, my friend. I hope they do right by him. I'm sorry for not going into the full detail, but that's where I'm at. Let's get to what I titled this episode. The Power of Pro Wrestling. And this can, you know what? We'll just let this become the open floor for the next 16 minutes of the show, okay? And I want you guys to hit me with it. And I'll look at your comments. I will, I promise. But I want you to hit me with it. What has pro wrestling done for you? The power of pro wrestling. What's it done for you? How's it affected you and with whatever you're comfortable sharing? If you don't want to share it, you don't have to, okay? We're all fully doxed here, right? Meaning we all have revealed our names to each other. So if you don't want to share something intimate, you don't have to. I get it. If it's too personal, keep it to yourself. It's fine. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, right? But I'm curious, what has pro wrestling, what has this business done for you? Has it gotten you through hard times? Has it helped you enjoy good times? What has it done for you? I'd like to know. And Sandy, you can talk WWE here if you want to. This is going to, whatever you guys, however you guys want to share, it's completely up to you. And look, if it's just fun and that's all it is, cool. It doesn't have to be earth shattering. Did it help you get through something? Did it help you get through a loss? Did it help you get through a divorce? Did it help you when you didn't have any friends? You had wrestling. I mean, let me kick it off. Let me inspire, if I may. Okay. Since I'm a kid, I have been pro wrestling. Since I'm a kid, in my house growing up here in North Carolina, we lost my dad when I was 4.5. He's the reason I watch pro wrestling. He and I have memories of being held as a baby, and him taking me to pro wrestling shows. I have memories of that. Okay. And still do. Never lost them. But in my house growing up, we didn't have baseball on TV. We didn't have football on TV. We had pro wrestling on TV. So it was always on my TV. You know what I mean? So pro wrestling has always been there for me. And I've told this story a million times. If you guys know me and you've watched the show or listened to it, You know that I'm a Dusty Rhodes guy. Always have been, always will be. Dusty filled the role. My dad was a big guy. Dusty was a big guy. Dusty became the surrogate father that I never had. And I've never got a chance to interview Cody. I'd like to tell him or his brother. And I don't know if I can get through it without crying buckets. It's hard to talk about now. Dusty was there for me through a lot, and he never knew it. But you know what? I'm nobody special. He was there for a lot of kids. You know what I mean? So that's how it touched me and still touches me to this day. And I'm going to tell you something. A good promo can put tears in my eyes. When Dusty cut the Hard Times promo and he said, "My hand is reaching out for your hand," every time. But I'm a nerd about this stuff. That's who I am. Okay. I don't apologize for that. And I never will. I love pro wrestling. It's been there for me when I didn't have a lot. It was there for me. It was always there to inspire me, to motivate me, to maybe believe in good and bad, right and wrong, and good guys win in the end. And it went right along with comic books. That's my two major passions in my life, of pro wrestling and comic books. And that's the truth. Now, I have laid the foundation. I have set the example. Now, hit me. I'm going to go back up to the top. JB says, entertainment, fun to watch. I can respect that. Carlos says, I like to go to the live shows. Sandy says, I watched pro wrestling since 2009, and it changed my life. So many beautiful moments in the good and bad times. Sandy, beautiful. Thank you, my friend. Nancy said it made me more comfortable with being true to myself and growing into what I wanted to be. Everybody goes through something. When my dad passed, it was all I had. I feel that. Larry says, I had a girl break up with me because of wrestling. She was the worst. I love asking open-ended questions because you get all kinds of stories, don't you? Larry, I'm going to tell you something, Larry. Oh, Larry, if she dumped you because of pro wrestling, you didn't need her to begin with. Solidarity. I'm just saying. Nancy went on to say her dad was her reason for watching since she was 3. Again, I respect that. Sandy says, in school, I was laughed at for watching wrestling WWE. Yep. I was teased incessantly for comic books and pro wrestling. I was the fat kid that got dumped on for being the fat kid and for being a nerd about pro wrestling and comic books. That's the truth. Gerald says, been watching since a teenager, had only a few friends. It does something. It puts a cast of characters in your life as a kid that you don't have. And you grew up watching pro wrestling show, and basically there's a dichotomy of all different kinds of people that you're looking at every week or weekend or whatever your case is, that maybe you don't have in your life, but there's different personality types that you feel connection to these people. Wrestlers know that, by the way. They know it. Giving props to Dusty. Yep, Sandy, for sure. Ray says, pro wrestling got me through a lot of my personal stuff. Me and my daughter bond over it. Nice. And just love it. And Adam Cole was the first wrestler my little girl saw and liked when he was in ROH. Is that why? God, Ray, you're going to make me cry. Don't do that to me. Oh, my God, that's so good. Is that why you always like Adam Cole as king and all? Dude, shut up. I never knew where it came from. That is the best. Oh, my God, Ray, you're making me cry. You guys are awesome. I'm moving on. Jeff says, I thank my dad for introducing wrestling to me. The stories that he had going to AWA shows always makes me smile. Wrestling was always there on the toughest of days. I feel that. Jim says, Dad and I loved Roddy Piper. Oh, took me to my first live event, Hogan versus Piper from Milwaukee. Every Sunday, watched AWA, hung out on National Avenue in Milwaukee with Crusher Ronnie. Oh, wow. Nice. What a great story, man. Ricardo. It gave me a close relationship with my late grandmother. I was the only grandchild that shared her love of pro wrestling. I remember all the great times we had watching NWA, WWF, WCW, and WWE. God, this was the best idea I've had in years. This was great. You guys are the best. Keep it coming. Robbie says, Darren Young, Disco Inferno if he had a better gimmick. Randy Savage's brother, Lanny Poffo. Yep. Van Hammer are my picks. Wait. So you're for picks for who? What are we talking about? I missed out, Robbie. What are we on to? Mount Rushmore question. Who's your Mount Rushmore wrestlers in the past who deserved more of a push and didn't get it? Hector Guerrero. Brad Armstrong. And push, you got to define push. Push can mean any number of things, but those are my two quick answers by Hector Guerrero and Brad Armstrong. And they got spotlight. Sam Houston. They all got really good amount of spotlight, but never quite main event status. You got to remember who I grew up watching. I grew up watching, I'm a Jim Crockett kid, still am. And he says, also, wrestling helped me connect more with my dad, by the way. Awesome. Thank you. Isaac says, pro wrestling helped me build a bond with my stepfather. Me getting him into it, AEW was our thing when it started because we were right there in Jacksonville. Sadly, I lost him too soon, about a year ago. Oh, Isaac, my apologies, my condolences to you. I feel you. JB says, stress relief, live events, yeah. Hey, Tina, what's up? Tina, you got to the Terry part of the show where I talk about the power of pro wrestling here, kids, in case you're just tuning in. What has pro wrestling done for you? What's a story that you're willing to share with us today? David says, I first started watching it in my pop's house on a black and white TV. Same. Watch with it cutting in and out WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. You're way younger than I am, dude. And was hooked. Now I watch as much wrestling as I can get a hold of. And well, you're not way younger. I shouldn't say way younger, but you're a little bit younger, I think. Tina says, I remember my first wrestling match with Mr. Wrestler and the Dragon Steamboat. Mr. Wrestling and Ricky the Dragon. Nice. Yep, I agree with you, Anthony. Brad Armstrong. I love me some Brad Armstrong. Very underrated. Yeah, you guys. Sandy said it. Thanks for sharing. You guys are the best. Next, I remember seeing Miss Wrestling number 2 and JYD. Oh, and Jimmy Valiant. I got stories about Boogie. So I was involved in a promotion about an hour from here. That promotion's been shut down for years and years. But we had Boogie up. We brought him up all the time. I had a wrestling match against the owner of the promotion, the promoter, and I was trying to take the company from him. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, say no more. And I took a steel chair to the head, and it busted me open hard way, and I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And I had a huge knot on my forehead for like a straight week. And the very next day, we went up to Boogie's camp in Virginia, West Virginia, to his training school. And so he put me up in front of his room full of students and was talking about, when you take a chair shot, we take a chair shot, brother, protect yourself, man. You want to be doing this for 10 years. Don't you protect your head, man? And his guys were looking at me like I'm Dusty Rhodes or something. It was a very cool memory I have. And by the way, you see this? What I got happening behind me? Siri has lost her mind. Stop. Hey, Siri, stop. Stop. Siri's sharing her story of squirrels. I don't know what's happening here. Can you guys hear this? We had a very nice moment here. We're all bonding, and stupid Siri on the lousy iPad is still telling the story, and I can't reach it because it means reaching through the crowd and grabbing the stupid iPad. Only on the main event, baby. Only on the main event. You guys, oh my God, now look. Now the Siri girls have lost their minds. They've lost their minds. My God in heaven. What's going on here? I've got a oh my God, it's still talking. I've got a message here. Oh no. So I've got I can't. Hey Siri, stop. Jesus Christ, did you guys stop here? Check if the device is on your home Wi-Fi network. The Siri girls have taken over. And you know what's funny? If you don't know what's happening, you're just tuning in, you're like, what is going on in this show? I have horrible news, everybody. Did you guys know Kevin Conroy has passed away? The one true Batman. The one true Batman has passed away. I hate to hear that. Oh, that's a bummer. What a terrible way to end your Friday. Yikes. Okay, my apologies, kids. Let's get back to it. JD says my first pro wrestling experience was White WrestleMania 2. I was hooked from there, and I realized there was pro wrestling nerds just like me. Isn't that a great feeling when you know there's other people out there? You feel like you're part of your tribe. This is my tribe. You guys are my tribe, by the way. I'm serious. Carl says I watch it just to get away for a few hours a week. Awesome. Doesn't have to be anything major. That's a good story in and of itself. Alma says, I could say pro wrestling has been a lifeline to me throughout my tennis and teens and young adult life. One time I was at the Sportatorium in Dallas. One of the wrestlers saw me crying, wanted to know why. I was facing bullies, picking on me, especially making racist comments. Jesus. He told me to check with them. Don't let them get to me. His advice got me through it. It was Kerry Von Erich. Well done. Well done. Well done. Great story. Thank you, Alma. Ray's got to hit us with this question. Let's hit Ray's answer here. Busta Rhymes or Snoop Dogg? I got to go Snoop, I think. De La Soul or House of Pain? De La Soul every time. And if Adam Cole came to your house in a limo to take you and your family to see new Black Panther and had an extra ticket, could I come? And later he wanted to. Ray's got to finish this question. Oh, get coffee. Could I come? Yes, Ray. All day, yes. You had me at Snoop Dogg, actually. Tina says, I can remember Valentine, all of them. I had the biggest crush on Brutus the Barber Beefcake, really? He was quite the dashing young man at one time, wasn't he? Sugar Shane says, I grew up with Mr. Wrestling, or with wrestling, excuse me. My great aunt did Gorgeous George's hair and Making George a great story. Love it. Love it. Gerald says, love watching WWF. WWE back in the day with Hogan, JYD, Macho Man. Good answer, Vic. Chris Adams should have been a bigger star, 100%. Let's see. Keith says, my brother and I were wrestling fans in the 70s, and I've continued to be. One of my best memories seeing Honky Tonk Man win the IC title. My first live show here in Buffalo. Great memory. Yes, Jeff. Siri is doing a run-in. Well done. Let's be sure we don't say that name again. She'll start talking again. Siri's into the chat. You guys are killing me. The jokes are great. I can't. My kid's not here. My kid's not here. I'm looking at all the comments during the run-in. All the comments during the run-in. We're going to skip through them. Oh, Gallagher, Tina. Gallagher. Gallagher is a classic act. A lot of his stuff's dated because of the time era he was in. Love Gallagher. Love him. Was that fun? Was that cathartic for you? I got to be careful what I say here because I'll become a big bag of tears. Have we lost anybody? Is everybody still with us? I hope. December 12th is going to make 3 years since we lost my sister. And I sat in this chair a week after. I think it was a week after, and did this show. I was back to work the Monday after, happened on a Thursday. I was back to work that Monday because I was an idiot and I didn't take any time off because I was an idiot. I really should have. But I come back and did the show that Friday. Pretty sure. I think it was the Friday after. I think it was the week after. I don't recall. It's a lot of real hazy. I sat in this chair with a stupid Santa hat on and I couldn't stop crying. And everybody here made me pour their hearts out to me and sent condolences and messaged me in public and privately. And it meant and continues to mean the world to me. This little show is probably not going anywhere. And that's a twofold statement. One, I don't have any plans of ever stopping the show. So everybody out there, if you like the show, first of all, thank you. Second, you can breathe easy because I don't ever want to stop doing what I'm doing. I love it too much. Second, this show's not going to go anywhere in terms of popularity. It is what it is. It's more or less a labor of love because I just love wrestling so much. That's what this has become. It's been other things over the years, but that's now what it is for me. Okay. But the amount of love that you guys showed me when everything happened and the fact that you show up every time I'm here, it's awesome. It's the best. Yeah, it's I would tell you that I'm past it. It depends on what day of the week you're asking. I've dealt with loss way too many times to mention. And if you have never lost anyone close to you, and I'm going to make a statement, and this is going to sound harsh, and I don't mean it to. If you're in your 30s and 40s and your grandmother of 90 passes away, that's bad. She's been there your whole life, and I get that, and that sucks. But let me tell you, if you've never lost anyone your age in your family, or maybe a little bit older or younger, those are the moments when you wonder what are we really here for? What is this? What's this nonsense I'm looking at? So anyway, that's all spirituality I'll throw on you on a Friday. But yeah, it's first off, if you've never really lost somebody that exceptionally close to you, count yourself lucky and hope that you never have to go through it, because it's the worst. It's the worst. So there we are. You guys are the best. Yeah, Tina, you're right. Oh, it was so hard. I was a blithering idiot. I was crying like an idiot. It was ridiculous. I probably shouldn't have done the show that day. I felt like, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, do you just sit back and you keep struggling, or do you try to start getting back to some sort of semblance of life? Because let me tell you something about life. There's an old saying, time heals all wounds. Time doesn't heal all wounds, but it helps. You know what I mean? The passage of time helps. We put a lot of stock into what time does. You know what I mean? Time heals all wounds. Time makes everything better. Too much time has passed. I'm out of time. There's no time to do this. We should have took more time. I mean, time doesn't move faster, and it doesn't change even though we set the clocks. Time moves at the pace it's always moved at. All our kids grew up too fast. No, they don't. Everyone's kids grew up. We all grew up. Our parents said the same thing about us. Time moves at the rate time moves. There's no speeding it up. Last time I checked. And unfortunately, there's no slowing it down. But we want to try to explain things that happen in our lives, and we pin our observations on time, which really is not moving any faster slower than it ever has been. Does that make sense? But as humans, we're trying to understand. And there's your pro wrestling commentary for this Friday. All right. I was going to open the floor. I think we've done that. We're at the top of the hour. We're 3 minutes past. Thank you, Robbie, for your kind words. I appreciate you, my friend. Shane, same to you, dude. Yeah, Shane, by the way, I know you're still going through it. You're gonna continue to go through it. JB, same to you. Dude, you're never gonna not go through this. Yeah. 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 Oof. Tina's like, okay, let's talk wrestling. But it's 6:04. Uh-oh. You know what it almost is? I got real excited. It's almost 6:05. Say it. What's it mean? Say it. My voice is wrecked after doing this show. You guys know that, right? I'm on calls all week in meetings. And then by the time Friday gets here, my voice is wrecked, especially because I screamed through this show like John Lennon doing Twist and Shout on the Beatles' first album. They had to record that song last. Otherwise, he would never been able to get through the album because he screamed his way through it. Because it's a rock and roll song, baby. You kidding me? I'm waiting for it. 6:05, baby. Bam! 6:05 on the Superstation. We made it. If I was smart, that's when I would start the show at 6:05 on Fridays. Oh, I can't do that. It would conflict too much with other stuff I have going, but it's okay. 6:05 live, Ricardo. Ricardo done won the pony. My man. Meanwhile, in Germany, Sandy's like, it's 12:05 here, jerk. Dick. Freaking Americans. Jesus. Midnight here, you clown. Sandy's like, I'm tired. Can I go to bed now? All that's good stuff. Same, Tina, same. All right. I'm tired. I'm for Clint. I'm exhausted. I need a shower. I'm all these things and a lot more. I gotta go. I got a kid to pick up soon from the trampoline park. The park of trampolines. Come on, baby. You see what that is? My hand is touching your hand for this gathering. Actually, I'm just fuzzy and I'm trying to get the camera to refocus. Hey. Refocus, you piece of... Nah. All right, I'm getting out of here, everybody. I'm going to bid you adieu. Yes, I stole that. He can't have everything. All right. He can't. I won't let him. Do me a favor, kids. Everybody, please have yourselves the best weekend ever. Yes, my tree is up. I'm going to start making jolly. I watch ridiculous Christmas movies every night for the past 2 weeks. I make no apologies. This is who I am. Love me or hate me. You're stuck with me. That's what I told my wife on her wedding day. Bam! You know what my wedding vows were? Love me or hate me, you're stuck with me. Bam, let's go. Give me the ring. Let's go. I need some pizza. You know what I mean? Those are my vows. Romantic, weren't they? You know it. All right, I'm out. Listen, guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for the love. You guys are the best of all time. I appreciate you very much. And again, as I said multiple times, I'll thank you again for always being here. You guys mean the world to me. Please always tune in. I'll try to be here as often as I can. Apologies when I'm not. You guys know how things are. Life happens sometimes. Life comes at you pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. There you go. I'm getting out of here. Thanks again, kids. See you next time.
Well, that's this weekend.
Tom Clark's main event.